You ready for what you want? Grandma's porch, a place to relax, a place to enjoy. Come visit Grandma's porch. Are you ready for what you want? Hello, y'all. I'm Dianna-BRIANNE. Are you ready for what you want and other bits of wisdom? Well, I got to thinking this morning about opportunities and when opportunities come our way. You know, often people say, well, I want this and I want that and I want this dream, or I want to, marry a certain person or certain type of person, or I want a certain type of job, or I want to move to a new place and be happy. And I got all that. And those things are good. It's good to have goals, visions, dreams for yourself. And yet, what are you doing to prepare yourself for those opportunities if they are to come by? First of all, often opportunities don't come by until we're ready for them. And often people sit around waiting for their opportunity, but even if that opportunity came by, they may get passed by because, well, they're not prepared and ready for that opportunity. You know, I believe it's so important to prepare ourselves for the opportunities that we want. And that can be done in any number of ways. I mean, if you want a great job, you may have to get the right kind of education beforehand for that job. So you're preparing yourself so that if you come across that job, they're not going to pass you by because you're not qualified. You need to be qualified. If you're looking for that perfect mate out there, well, you know what? You've also got to be ready for that perfect mate because, well, if you're not, they may end up passing you by. When I met my husband, before I met my husband, my life was very much together. I always took care of my body. I took care of my looks. I had myself totally together emotionally, spiritually. I had a great job. I was independent. I was happy. I had a great social life. So who wouldn't have wanted me? So when my opportunity came by for the right person in my life, they grabbed me up because I was ready for that opportunity, which was my husband. And so it could be that with a relationship. It could be that with friendship. I mean, if you're a negative person walking around and you're mopey all the time and you want new friends, well, what kind of friends are you going to attract? You're going to attract other mopey friends. And you say that you don't want that. You want positive-minded friends. Well, positive-minded friends may pass you by if you're just moping all the time and negative all the time, because they want other positive friends to lift them up, not to pull them down. So in other words, we have to be prepared for our opportunities often before they'll even arrive. And even if they do arrive and we're not prepared, they may pass us by. But if we're prepared and ready for those opportunities and they're still not there, sometimes at that point we've got to go out and create that opportunity almost from thin air. And I've done that many, many times in life. So just remember, be prepared for your opportunities. Another wisdom note is don't make someone more important than you are, and don't diminish someone. I believe we're all equal, but often what I see is people either try to diminish someone else to lift themselves up, or they put themselves down and make someone else more important. I don't consider anyone else more important than me, and yet I don't consider anyone less important than me. Now, granted, not everybody belongs in my life up close and personal, and not everybody's going to get the same amount of time. We have to be more specific about our relationships. The kind of time my husband gets with me and my family gets with me is going to be different than, say, the neighbor down the street. And so we have different levels of relationships, and that's a healthy thing. That's a good thing. Not everybody fits up close and personal into our lives. And yet, don't make someone more important than you are, no matter who they are. You can make room for them. You might have to inconvenience yourself for like a right mentor, but there's nobody going to be more important than you are to yourself. Stop trying to gain approval from someone who doesn't want to give you approval. There are people in life that just do not want to give you approval. They're never going to give you approval. And so no matter what you do, you can, jump rope in front of them, you can jump hoops in front of them, but they're not going to give you that approval that you want, or they're going to give it to you very, very stingily. And so I don't try to seek approval from people who are not going to give it to me. But then I'm not an approval seeker anyhow. I give my own self the approval that I need. And then if anyone else gives it to me, that's just a bonus. That's just extra. So what about nasty relatives? What about those nasty relatives? Hopefully we don't have them. But what about that distant uncle that comes to Thanksgiving once a year that's really not all that nice? I've reached a point in my life long ago that I just don't have room for nasty people. And it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter whether they be a family member, a relative, my boss. It doesn't matter. I don't have room in my life for nasty people. And there are nasty people in the world. There are unkind people in the world. There are unthoughtful people in the world. And sometimes we have to work around them. And, if I'm in the work environment and there's someone nasty, I'm really going to keep my distance from them because I don't want to waste my positive energy dealing with them. And, sometimes that's easier said than done. And yet I do my very best at keeping that professional distance from people like that. That's why it's important to stay professional in the workplace, because often people mix friendship with work, and often that backfires on them, and that's not a good thing. So for me, I strictly stay professional in a workplace environment. But in a family environment, if someone's not nice, I usually identify it out. I usually say, you know what, you're just not being nice, and I don't want to be around you. I'm pretty open. And, in the past, I remember we had this one relative, and they were nasty. They would be condescending and arrogant and all that. And I just said, I don't want to be around them. And everybody else said, oh, it's okay. That's just the way they are. Well, if they can accept them the way they are, then they can accept me the way I am with my high standards, that I don't put up with that. So I simply say, I don't put up with that kind of behavior. I'm sorry. And then I go my way. Sometimes they change right away and go, oh, I'm so sorry. But often they don't. Often they're offended by us not accepting their bad behavior. And so for me, I just don't accept behaviors like that. And so just remember, get ready for your opportunities in life. They're out there, but you've got to get yourself ready for them beforehand. Well, my day is gloomy, overcast, and wet. And so I don't know if I will go out there for my 5-mile run. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. If it warms up later, I might. It's not a matter of it being chilly or cold, but the wet, running on wet sand, gravel, grass, I don't like to do that. And it's still raining, even though you can't see it. Well, I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and may God bless you. And please like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends, family, anyone about my channel. And I hope to talk to y'all soon again. So from my house to yours, from Grandma's porch to yours, may God bless you, and I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.
best to relax.